this. All right, so you invited your friend over to your house to watch a movie. You let each person decide if they want to snack on popcorn, which, oh my God, you're gonna charge your friends for popcorn. That is mean. $2.50 per person, or candy, which is $1.75 per person. Okay, so you're buying the snacks. You spend this much money to buy snacks for 8 people. So there are 8 people. So you should highlight that. Okay, write a system of equation that could use to determine how many people chose popcorn, which is P, and how many people chose candy, which is C. So take a moment and make sure you guys highlight that. And again, if you do not have if you don't have that, make sure you come on the ground one. How much do you need a ground one? All right, so which one is gonna be it? If you're not sure on this, you guys, you can remember you have the answer sheet on the very back. So I always like to check the answer sheet just to make sure that as I'm working the problem that I'm going in the right direction, because nothing is more sad and embarrassing if I go, yeah, the answer is B. And then we check and I was like, whoops, the answer is actually A as an apple. So the answer here for 41 is D as in dog. And so let's take a look at this. So you know that, so the cost of everything, you only have $17.75, okay? $2.50 is for popcorn, okay? So $2.50 times P, plus $1.75 for candy, C, okay? So this first equation right here is gonna be the cost of popcorn and candy. So if you look at the answers here, so far, I'm like, there's only one that matches that, and that's D as in dog, but we're gonna keep going, okay? Your second equation is that you only have 8 people. So the number of popcorn plus a number of candy that you purchase have to be at least 8 or equal to 8 or more. You can have more than 8, snacks, but if you have less than 8 snacks, like this morning with my kids and the gloves, they're gonna start fighting over it. I mean, you could share, but nobody wants to share their popcorn and candy. I want to have it to myself. And so this is gonna be the number of snacks. Okay. And so those are your 2 equations. And if you look at this, which one matches those 2 equations? Well, has to be D as in dog, because that's the only one that matches it. And that's it. So even though you had a word problem and it looked really intimidating, it's actually really not that difficult. You just have to read the question, try to make sense of it, and then that's it. So it's really not that bad, but you do have to go through it. All right, we're gonna go on to 42, you guys. So go ahead and take a look at number 42. And I didn't update the grade, but don't worry, because it will be updated before your final. So. All right, so number 42. Now this one is another type of question you have on your test. It's not multiple choice, it's fill in the blank. Okay, so I want to make sure we practice enough fill in the blank questions so that way you guys are accustomed to it and you don't like look at it and go, oh my gosh, this is so weird. What do I do with this? Okay, let's go ahead and highlight everything first. That's really important. 2 different families bought general admission tickets for Reno Aces baseball game. Okay, one family paid $71 for 6 adults and 2 children. The other family paid $56 for 3 adults and 4 children. How much more does an adult ticket cost than a child ticket? Okay, so immediately with this one, you're gonna have to do like systems of equations. So I'm just gonna put systems of equation, and you need to copy that part down too. So systems of equation. And the first thing that I'm going to do is, so children's ticket is going to be C, adult ticket is going to be A. And our goal here is to figure out how much is the adult ticket and how much is the children's ticket. Normally it's like adult tickets are generally more expensive than kids tickets. So I'm kind of expecting A to be a little bit bigger than C. All right, so let's take a look at family one, the first family. First family paid $71 for 6A plus 2C. That's the first family. Second family. So the second family, which is right here, they pay $56.50 for 3 adult tickets and 4 children's tickets. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and solve this system of equation by elimination. Okay, elimination means to cancel, right? And in order to cancel, remember you have to have the same number in opposite sign. And keep in mind, you guys, you don't have to be good at math to pass this class, but you do have to jot things down and turn things in. So you could still pass a class, maybe not with an A, but maybe with like a C or a D or a B, you know, if you at least just do the work and then turn it in. Now, you know, if you don't do the work, you don't turn it in, and on top of that, you're not good at math, and you're gonna do horrible on the test, then that will be a problem because you can't be bad at both things, you know. I mean, you don't have to be good at math, but you have to just do the work and turn it in. All right, so let's find the same number opposite sign. So which one can I make a same number opposite sign? You can cancel A or C. I think I'm gonna do C because it's 2 and 4. Those numbers are a little bit smaller. So to make this 2 into a -4, I'm gonna multiply this equation by -2, not -4, duh. -2 times this by -2 and times that by -2. Because whatever you multiply on one of the equations, you gotta multiply on all of the equation. Okay, so then my new equation is gonna be -2 times 71, which is negative 142 equals -12A minus 4C. And guess what? You can use a calculator on the test. So if you're like, I'm not very good at multiplying negative numbers, that's okay. Okay, so now you're just gonna add them top and bottom. So let's go ahead and draw the line. The 4C and the -4C cancels. 3 minus 12 is a -9A. 56.5 minus 100. You gotta grab your calculator. You're gonna have to use this one on your calculator a little bit, most likely. And then how do you get rid of the -9? Opposite of a -9 times is a -9 divide. So we're gonna divide it and grab your calculator. Adult tickets cost how much? $9.50. So now that I have an adult ticket, I gotta figure out what a child ticket is. So to figure out the child ticket, you can use either the first equation or the second equation. It doesn't matter which one you use. The red equation or the blue equation. I'm just gonna use the red equation because it's just there. So your red equation is 71 is equal to 6A, replace the A with $9.50 plus 2C. $9.50 times 6 is gonna give you a 57 plus 2C. Minus 57 on both sides. 71 minus 57 is a 14 equals 2C. Well, what's 14 divided by 2? $7. So how much are children's ticket? $7. Okay. So then you're like, I did all this work. So then what the heck am I doing here? What was the purpose of me doing this? Go back to your question. How much more does an adult ticket cost than a child's ticket? So what's the difference between $9.50 and $7? You just simply subtract them. It's $2.50, right? So here it's a positive. So I'm going to go ahead and put positive 2.5. And you do have to go ahead and highlight them. So you'll just do positive 2.5 like that. And that is how you fill in the blank question on your exam. And you will have questions like this on your test, guys. So make sure, even if you don't know, try to make a guess of it, you know, instead of just leaving it blank. Because if you leave it blank, you'll definitely get it wrong. Whereas if you at least guess, you at least have like a slight chance of getting it right. All right, 43, you guys. Take a look at number 43. This one is not a difficult question. We've done plenty of these questions that are actually more difficult, so this was actually pretty easy. All right, let's go ahead and graph this. So first thing I'm gonna have you guys do is you are going to draw a grid like this. I'm gonna draw a grid. Next, we're gonna go ahead and graph this. Okay, remember, if you look at the equation, y is equal to mx plus b, right? You always start off with a letter b, and for this one, your b is equal to 4. So you can go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a dot right there. And then from there, I'm gonna look at my m. My m is a 3/1. It's that number in front of the x, which means I'm gonna go up 3. 1, 2, 3 over to the right 1. Or you can go down. 1, 2, 3 down over to the left 1. Okay. And then from there, if you take a look at the sign, do you see how there's no equal sign? So it's gonna be a dotted line. So immediately I'm like, can't be C because C is a solid line. Can't be A because A is in the wrong, like started in the wrong way. It's all the way over here, you know. So it's either like D or B, right? So those are my two possible answers. So now I gotta shade it. So do you see how this is eating the letter X and it's not eating the letter Y? If it's eating the letter X, you shade below. If it's eating the letter Y, you shade above. So is it B or is it D? Which one is shading below? I hope you didn't say C because that's the wrong one. Like, I hope you said B. B as in boy. All right, let's go on to the next one, you guys. That was actually not too bad. So the next one's number 44. Go ahead and read the question on Tandy. Go ahead and highlight the important information on there. What is Tandy doing that's making it important? Good morning. Do you need to study guide for this class? Yep. Okay. And also grab a highlighter. Highlighter? Yeah. So Tandy has at most $100. So the first thing I'm gonna circle is 100. To spend on summer clothes. If shorts cost $12.50 and a pair of tank top costs $6.25, which graph represents the possible combination of shorts and tank top that she can buy? So obviously, she has $100. Notice that tank top is on the y-axis right here, and shorts is on the x-axis. Okay. I would say right now that it doesn't make any sense to have A and B because they're shading above. Okay. And that doesn't make any sense. So it's not A or B. And if you're not sure what the answer is, you can always look at the answer here at the very back. And this is question number 44. So the answer is C as in cat. So let's figure out why that is. So with C as in cat, how many tank tops does Tandy buy? It looks like she has 16 tank tops. How many shorts? 8 pair of shorts. So let's do S for shorts. Oops. If she have $100, can't be more than $100. She only has 100. So $100 has to be less than or equal to the number of shorts, which is $12.50 S plus $6.25 for tank top. Okay, answer is C. We're just gonna pick C. And let's see, tank tops. Okay, tank tops are more expensive than shorts. So tank tops are $6.25. Shorts are more expensive, so $12.50. So if you have one item that's less expensive, you can buy more of that less expensive item, right? So the reason why it's not D, because there's 8 tank tops and 16 shorts, is because tank tops is less expensive, $6. You can buy 16 tank tops, but you got to balance it with the number of shorts. This number of shorts have to be smaller than the number of tank tops. Does that make sense, you guys? And that is your answer, C as in cat. Okay, number 45. Go ahead and take a look at the question and then look at the answer. Let's see what they're asking you. All right, which system of the equation does the model graph? Let's go ahead and take a look at the first equation. This equation right here. So highlight this equation right there. This green one. With this green one, I know that it starts right here at B equals -1. I also know it's a negative slope because it's going downhill rather than uphill. So it's a negative slope. So how low is it going? It's going down 1 and over 1, 2, 3. It's going down 1, going 1, 2, 3. So it's going down 1 over 3. That's your M. I also noticed that it's shaded above. Do you see how it's being shaded above the green line? So it's going to be Y is greater. It's going to be eating the letter Y. And I also noticed that it's a dotted line. So if it's a dotted line, there's no equal sign. So that green line right there, that equation is y is greater than -1/3x minus 1. So that's your first hint. So which equation includes this one right here? Well, I see that it's C and it's also D. So you know it's not A and it's not B. So don't even bother with those two. Now you're like, all right, so is a C or is a D, Callahan? Well, it depends. Is it going to be that first orange equation or the second orange equation? And this is what you do. You're going to pick a point that's going to be inside this gray area. I'm just going to pick this point right here. And that point right there is 0, 5. I'm going to plug that number into either the second equation for C or the second equation for D. And whichever one is true, that is the correct answer. So I'm just going to say C because that comes first. So C is 2x. Remember your x is 0, so 2 times 0 minus 4y, your y is 5, is smaller than 8. Is that true or is that false? 0 minus 20 is smaller than 8. Is that true or false? I don't know about you, but I think -20 is smaller than 8. It's true. Your correct answer is C. If you're like, really? But what if it's also true for D? Well, it's not going to be. But let's just check for, kicks and giggles, whatever. 2x, so 2 times 0, plus 4y, so 4 times 5, is smaller than 8. Is 20 smaller than 8? No, that is false. So that's not right. So C is correct, D is not correct. But that's how you check, you guys. All right, let's move on to questions number 46. And I think this will be maybe our last one after that, number 46. Okay, so number 46 is which of the following point is a possible solution to the following systematic equation? So what we're going to do is we're going to shade and have an area of shade, and then we're going to plot the point to see which of these points A, B, C, D is in that shaded area. So you're going to use highlighter, obviously. So make sure you guys have your highlighters. All right, so let's graph the first one. First equation here is y is greater or equal to -4. So let's go down to -4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. There's an equal sign, so it's a solid line. And since it's eating the letter y, you're going to shade above that solid line. So I'm going to shade this way. Okay, next one. We're going to go ahead and graph the next equation. The next equation is not easy because it's not solved for y. So I'm going to move that x over to the right side. So I have -6y is greater than -3x plus 12. So that's the first thing that I do. Then, of course, I got to get rid of that -6 because it's timed. You're going to go ahead and divide it by -6 on everything. So if you're dividing by a -y, what happens to your inequality, you guys? You got to flip it. Do you see how I'm flipping it over? You got to flip it if you ever divide or multiply by a negative number. So then -3 divided by -6 is a 1/2x minus 2. All right, so let's graph this thing, you guys. So when I graph this, I'm going to go ahead and graph it at b equals -2, m equals 1/2. So ladies, make sure you guys are paying attention. So at -2, this is your first point, go up 1/2, up 1/2, up 1 over to the right 2. You can also go down 1 to the left 2, down 1 to the left 2. And now when you look at this, there's no equal sign. So this is going to be a dotted line. So let's just draw a dotted line like this. And do you see how it's eating the letter X? So you're going to shade below. Below this red line. Now, I know you're like, okay, so what is the answer, Callahan? Do you see where the orange and the yellow area kind of collapse together, which creates this green area right there? That's your answer. So any of these points that go into that green area is your answer. So let's go ahead and plot them. Let's check A. 1, -6. So here's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that in the green area? No. So that's not your answer. Now you check B, C, and D. So plot B, C, and D and see if that is in that green area. Well, with B, it's 6, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Uh-oh. It's right on that line. But because this is a dotted line, it means it's not included if it's on the dotted line. If it's on the solid line, then it's included. So nope, not B. Let's try C. -3, 1, 2, 3, up 2. Well, that's not even in the right region. That's like in the orange one. That's not even close. Let's try D. 3, -2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Ta-da! That is in the green region. So your correct answer is D as in dog. And that's it, you guys. So how many more questions do we have on this? We ended at 46. You guys have, there's a bunch of them that's crossed out, like the red ones right there, so you don't have to do them. So we actually don't have a ton left. We only have like a few more to go, which we'll go over tomorrow. So I would like you guys to go over number 47. We have 47 until 61 left. And I want you guys to pick any 5 questions to go over for homework tonight. So go over them. Make sure you go over your study guides. I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting.